Well, hello there, folks. This is Larry the Cucumber again. And I'm just going to go ahead and adjust the camera a little bit because this is the best time to do it while the video is already going. Isn't that right? Oh, yeah. Oh, baby. Oh, goodness, that looks good. Yeah, a little bit further back. All right. Looking at C, looking at inheritance and pointers. Yeah, getting into some complex stuff. This video is also part of a series. And so if you're like, huh, then just watch my other videos. Let's look at inheritance and memory for related types. Let's go ahead and fold all these. So we're making like a little kind of a RuneScape type of simulation thing. And we have weapons, armor, and food. And these are part of the item hierarchy. So this symbol right here means is a. So a weapon is an item. And what that means is that these are the properties of an item. And so by saying this, it is equivalent to if we were to erase that, copy that, paste that. That's all inheritance really is. And the reason that inheritance is useful is if we have all these different things that are items. Let's say we want to change the name of a variable, or we want to add or remove properties from all items at once. We can do it up here. And its properties will cascade to the other types. And we can also have base methods. So if we are wanting to spawn a game object based on the type of item, then we don't have to have this logic in here and down here. We just have it in one place. Now this is essential for readability. You can also have constructors, and the constructors can have a sort of logic to them that you can call from other inherited classes. So these are the properties that are shared to all items. These are the properties that are to the weapon only. And we have the constructor here. And armor is similar, and food is similar. And we'll look at the player structure. A couple things to note here. The inventory is an array of pointers. And the reason that this is because the item is the base item is not the same size in memory as food. It's not the same size in memory as armor, and it's not the same size in memory as a weapon. They have different sizes. And so we need to store them as pointers so that we can accommodate these different needs. The only other way we could really do that is to have the item have like padding. No, that wouldn't work either. Never mind. Then we have weapon and armor, which is equipped weapon and equipped armor. These are also pointers. They point to a location in the inventory. And The reason that that is so is because if we were to store them without a pointer as a regular type, I mean, technically the program, if we were very careful, could be correct, but in doing so, we would be creating a duplicate in memory. And so it's possible that we could accidentally write a bug which creates duplicate items. It's also better this way because if we were to remove the item from the inventory, that would mean that we didn't have it anymore, and the pointer would be pointing to the inventory. So the equipped weapon would go null because we removed it from the inventory. So the behavior makes a little bit more sense. Now, as a sort of follow-up to the last video, we have some member functions here. Taking damage from a weapon, and the weapon losing some durability. And in fact, our armor could have durability as well, and that could lose durability. And we have some of the here it is. Here's a good one. Here's an example of adding the item to the inventory. We have the category, which is necessary to determine the size of the item, how much memory we're going to need to allocate. Oopsies. Then the specific item type. So we're declaring a pointer. And if it's a food, we are allocating the space for the size of the food. And we are copying it from our prototypes. And we do the same for the other types. And then we iterate through the inventory, find a null space, and set it to the new item. And so our simulation here, this is a database of item prototypes. And so we have a sword, a dagger, and some food, which we're using malloc to create. And we are setting the values here. This is a setting the value of the memory address of the pointer. A pointer, I suppose I should have mentioned this probably the first thing in the video, but a pointer is an integer which is a index of a memory location. Let's just pretend that I open with that. So we are using the constructors to initialize the values. And send the values in this. And using our member functions. And taking our first little RuneScape action. Great. Isn't that just fine?